So what I'm going to show you, because I had the same one that you had,
You gotta make sure you're near a mic before you're talking.
take it. Oh,
You gotta make sure you're near a mic, so you either, you
I'll
can
speak
grab
up.
the,
Thank
you
you,
just
sir.
speak up or grab the,
Presiding judge of statewide order on use of cameras and electronic devices in common areas of court facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
I understand, just for the record. And would you agree with me that this is signed July 24th, 2023?
Yes.
Would this be the most recent document that would control these two incidents that we're here to talk about today?
Yeah, that is a newer version than this one that we were provided.
So it's largely the same. I'd be happy to let you read the whole thing. You're probably spending my time from these, but you probably, we're referring to, I'd like you to look at paragraph 6. This order does not apply to the following. And subsection C, read that for the court if you would, please.
Subsection C reads, use of body-worn cameras worn by law enforcement officers who are at the courthouse on official business.
So here is the exception that allows you to record within the courthouse, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, and go ahead and read subsection B, right above subsection C for the court.
Members of the public photographing, filming, or otherwise memorializing court documents provided to them by a clerk's office.
Mr. Lawler is a member of the public, correct?
Yes,
And he was at the clerk's office, correct?
he was.
And in February, he was at the clerk's office on official business, correct?
Yeah, he was.
What was his official business?
I believe it was something with traffic. I remember seeing a citation, which I think was from Wasilla PD. It was a municipal agency, I know that, but it wasn't ours, but I don't know exactly what it was.
You nailed it. That's an excellent memory. He was there on a citation. You'd agree with me that processing a citation in a clerk's office is official court business, right?
Yeah.
So he's there on official court business. He's recording the interaction with those documents. Would you agree with me that he was there on official court business that day in February?
Yeah.
Now, if he was following your trespass order in November where you said you cannot record unless you are here on official business, you'd agree with me that he was allowed to record that day in February?
If that's what I said, it was a mistake, just an error on my verbiage.
I understand. But you'd agree with me that if that's what you said, and that's on the record, we'll review it later, if that's what you said, and that's what Mr. Lawler heard, and he shows up 3 months later to process a citation, which you just testified is official business, and he records it under your trespass order, he's allowed to record that.
Yes.
You agree with me that it's not a crime to record within the courthouse?
It's not against the statute without permission from the court.
It's not a
So I guess, yeah, if you're talking a criminal, correct.
It's not a criminal, it's not a violation of a criminal statute to record within the courthouse.
Correct.
Yet you arrested him for a violation of a criminal statute, which the sole basis of it was recording within the courthouse, correct?
Yes, from the discussion with Barbara Cloud in November.
3 months prior.
Yes.
And you were actually on the way to arrest him before you had even spoken to him in February, right?
Well, the second time around, yes. Once we were told he was recording, yes.
You didn't pursue your own investigation and ask him what he was doing there.
No, I saw the phone that was there that was recording.
Are you familiar with 10 codes?
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
What does 1080 mean?
That means an arrest.
So, weren't you already discussing with Officer Hyman that you were going to 1080 Mr. Lawler while you were walking towards Mr. Lawler in February?
Yes.
So before you actually even spoke to Mr. Lawler that day, you had already decided and were informing Officer Hyman that you guys were going to go arrest Mr. Lawler?
Yes.
Would you agree with me that that is not the most thorough investigation?
Objection calls for speculation.
there's a question?
I can build on it. So said that if you have permission, it's okay, but if you don't have permission, that's not okay. To record.
Okay, what? Permission
Yeah,
what?
yeah, to record.
So I'm sorry, say that again?
You mentioned if you don't have permission, you mentioned the word permission. If he doesn't have permission to record, he's in violation.
Yes.
Did he have permission to record?
Not that I'm aware of. I presume that if he did, the court would have never caught us.
So when you arrested Mr. Lawler, a member of the public, for a crime, you didn't know whether or not he had permission to record.
If the court would have notified us if he had permission to record.
Hang on now. I'm not asking about what the court would have notified you about. I'm asking you to go back to February, and in your mind, as you're walking towards a citizen, and you are about to arrest him and put him in custody and deprive him of his liberty, did you know if he had permission to record?
No.
So you arrested him absent knowledge of whether he even had permission to be recorded.
Yeah, because I was never told.
Now, I saw in this other video where you stop him and you say, hey, what are you doing here? What's your official business? And he tells you, and I wrote it down because it was so different from the second interaction. You say, are you here on official court business? He says, yes. You say, what is it? You're having a dialogue with him, trying to figure out what he's doing there.
Yes.
But you didn't have that same dialogue with him on the February interaction, correct?
Correct.
And he actually tells you, I'm on official court business. He's got a citation in his hand. It's actually part of evidence that the state collected. He's got official court business in his hand. He's telling you, within the 9-second interaction that you had with him in February, I'm here on official court business, and you arrested him anyways, right?
Yes.
Was he creating an imminent public danger?
No.
Was he causing serious harm to persons?
No.
Was he causing serious harm to property?
No.
Was he disruptive?
No. Well,
Go ahead.
not, I guess I wouldn't say, I guess that there's room for interpretation on disruptive.
So let me flesh it out with a couple examples. Was he blowing a bullhorn?
No.
Was he bleating like a sheep?
No.
Was he slapping the windows, yelling at jurors?
No.
Were any proceedings disruptive?
No.
You didn't arrest him for disorderly conduct, did you?
No.
You agree with me that probable cause is present when you have a belief that a crime is afoot?
Yeah.
Would you agree with me that you did not have probable cause that day to arrest Mr. Lawler?
I disagree with that.
Yet you would agree with me that on the day that Mr. Lawler was arrested, he was given no contemporaneous order to leave, correct?
Correct.
May I have 1 second? And you agree that after you took him into custody, he was walking, and he said, you gotta give me a warning first. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
And your response to that was, I did, I gave you a warning in November.
Yes.
I have no further questions, John.
Any reader?
Yes.
Okay, Sergeant Long, so did you trespass Mr. Lawler pursuant to Ms. Cloud's order?
Yes,
Did we see Ms. Cloud on the body cam footage?
yes,
Did you speak with her prior to giving Mr. Lawler the trespass order?
yes, I did.
Okay, are you in charge of courthouse security in the Palmer Courthouse?
Yes,
If a person is going to be trespassed in the Palmer Courthouse, is it your job to issue that trespass advisement?
it is.
Okay, is it Ms. Cloud, would she go out and, issue a trespass back in November of 2023?
Not at that time, no. Typically, I don't know if they ever did in the past, like would go out, but if she or designee would go out to trespass someone, or when I say go out, if they trespass someone, they would be with myself or whoever, my predecessor or a court services officer.
And just to be very clear, that's part of your job duties, that if somebody's going to be trespassed at the Palmer Courthouse, you would issue that trespass advisement, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And now, this was a question asked in, cross-examination. Do you need a warrant to arrest somebody for criminal trespass?
No.
Could you explain that to the court?
Well, I wouldn't if it occurred in my presence, since it's a misdemeanor.
Okay, did a crime occur in your presence, in February of 2024?
Yes, it did.
Is that why you arrested Mr. Lawler?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have already issued somebody a trespass advisement and then they come back to that location, do you have to reissue the trespass advisement before you arrest them?
No.
Could you explain why to the court?
I guess the best analogy I can give, I mean, I know it's a little bit different if, you have, we'll just say a business, if they have a client that shows up that's being, that they don't want there, they're trespassed. And if they show back up, they're given a warning and they're either escorted off the premises. If they don't leave, they're arrested. But if they show up, we'll say 3 months later, they're arrested for trespass because they've been given that warning.
Okay, just to be very clear, we're talking about February now. Did you give Mr. Lawler another warning?
No,
Why did you not?
because he was given the warning in November.
Okay, and you personally advised him of that trespass advisement?
Yes.
Okay, and how long was that trespass for? Or how long was it good for? If you could explain that to the court.
Well, I mean, if he was reading off that printout that said 2099, sometimes trespasses are for like a year for residents, or sometimes there are for lifetime trespasses as well. This one here, I mean, if it says 2099, although I didn't tell someone to put 2099 in, but I'm guessing it's under the guise as if those two prongs are not met, then it's a trespass.
Okay.
So I don't have that document that you're referring to, is that something that was given to Mr. Lawler beforehand, or that he got in discovery?
I mean, it wasn't my document that I had, so I would defer to defense.
It was neither, Judge. This was not a document that was given to anybody. It was only an oral trespass. The document that I have is from the law enforcement notes provided by the state, and I can trust the court.
My question is whether or not that was given to Mr. Lawler, that's my only question. To your understanding, no.
So it's an oral advisement, Judge. Can I just say what he's referring to is action,
Okay.
which I would object to that being admitted into evidence given the hearsay, and there's also the case State versus Mattis too, so.
I didn't know if there was an official document that
Sure.
was given to him, that's what I'm just trying to clarify.
So I think, well, I don't wanna testify. Could you explain what absent is and why?
I don't need to know that I.
The court
understand
understands?
the
Okay.
document that was
Understood.
given to Mr. Lawler.
Okay,
I'm good.
were we in the middle of a question, Sergeant Long, do you remember?
You just asked to explain the,
Okay,
I did the best, describe it the best way I could. Yeah, I mean, this is in effect till, I guess whenever someone the court says, hey, we will allow this, then we can always, or let's say law enforcement can, have it removed. So other than that, it's in effect